everybody. My brother is going to play. What a friend we have in Jesus.
We are deeply saddened by the passing of our dearest loved ones in just a matter of months. It is hard to fathom, but we know God has everything planned beforehand. Uncle Bob is known to be a very wise and one of the most intelligent members of the Blaza clan. He is mostly quiet or silent, but everyone knows in the family that he loves to sing along. I admire their sibling relationship because they always show compassion and support whoever is in need. We will miss you and we'll see you when Jesus comes, Uncle Bob, together with Lolo and Daddy Eng. We love you.
Coco here from Riyadh and baby Kayla. The sudden death of both of my uncles in just a span of 6 months have left us an indescribable pain and sorrow. Uncle Bob just passed recently. My parents often reminded me that during my graduation in the university 10 years ago, he gave us 200 bucks. 200 bucks is a lot of money to us. I don't know how to repay you, Uncle, but I wanted to say thank you and I appreciate you because you cared for me and you were happy for my achievement. And just this recently, you posted about my baby Kayla, welcoming her to the family. You were usually quiet one, quiet uncle, a quiet person. But when I saw that, I was surprised and touched. Uncle, we will miss you, and we all love you. Thank you for everything, Uncle. See you in the resurrection morning, when Jesus comes.
In loving memories of Uncle Bob. We had a wonderful uncle. His smile was made of sunshine, and his heart was solid gold.
We will always remember Uncle every time. He always appreciate us, especially the kids. We still remember the last night that we spent together as a family. Uncle was singing all night. Dugay kay sila na nagkanta-kantan with Uncle Jong that night. And we remember that Uncle really played the kids that night. We always giggle with Chloe, Joshua, Julian, Bella, Miggy, and we never thought that that was the last night na pala yung na makuyog na mo siya. And we miss Uncle every time na they will go here, celebrating with us, having moments with us, especially yung mag-bless me, saya, every time na naa siya. I can still remember his face na we couldn't believe na mahitabo so fast. Siguro ang mga bata po, wala po nila na parang easily natanggap tanan, especially when Joshua knows na wala na si Uncle Bob. He really cried. Sabi pa niya sa akin, Mama, my heart. Sakit kay heart ko, Mama, sakit kay heart ko. Sabi niya, nagpunta na si Lolo Bob kay Daddy Lo. Iwan nila ako. Wala na mag-sing sa birthday ko. I can still remember that night na Josh was really crying so hard. Na-feel na ako. Na-love today kay niya Uncle Bob. That moment kasi mo na siguro yung time na parang na-feel ni Joshua na sila na permiga vibes together, magkanta-kanta. And then suddenly, nahitabo. Na really sad para sa part na mo sa family. But we always put our hearts, our trust to God na God really knows para sa kamaayo sa among pamilya and para po kay Uncle Bob na nagsuffer po sa iyang gibati that night. So, Uncle, we really forever miss you so much.
Para kay Uncle Bob, alam namin lahat na pagod na siya sa kondisyon niya. Galing kay Lolo, kay Daddy. Nagkita ko yung pain sa mukha ni Uncle Bob. Ngayon, alam kong masaya na si Uncle Bob. Siguro, magkasama na sila ni Daddy. Wala pa gani ako naka-recover sa pagkawala ni Daddy. Andiyan na naman si Uncle. Kung bagay o tao lang yung reason sa pagkawala ni Daddy at saka Uncle Bob. Siguro ipagtatanggol ko talaga sila. I really miss Daddy and Uncle Bob. Always sila ginahanap ni Joshua. Yung banding nila, Daddy, Uncle Bob, at Uncle Joe. Yung tunay na magkapatid. Nagbibigayan. Nagtutulungan. So proud having a dad and uncle. May you rest in peace, Dad and Uncle Bob.
Malayo pa ang umaga, di matanaw ang pag-asa.
To our Uncle Bob, thank you for all the precious memories spent happily with you.
We miss you, Uncle. We miss your Facebook comments, our bonding, the way you sing with Uncle Jong. But now, you're gone. It breaks our hearts to lose you, Uncle.
You're a remarkable person, and we are grateful to call you our Uncle Bob.
Thank
Thank
you for everything, Uncle. Sweet dreams,
Uncle.
Uncle Bob. We love you.
Miss you, Uncle
Say love you to
Bob.
Uncle Bob.
Love you.
We miss you, Lolo Bob.
It's not until you
Uncle Bob was a quiet person. He was not very talkative. He looked serious, but when you start talking to him, he's actually very pleasant to talk to. His smiles were sweet, and his words of wisdom were captivating. I also remember him to be easygoing. It was easy for him to get along with everyone. When I was little, I remember Uncle Bob as my uncle who worked abroad for many odd years. Although we didn't have much experiences together, one of the proudest moments I had was when I used to boast to my classmates that I had a rich uncle who worked in Saudi Arabia. They were so impressed with my stories. Apart from that, one of the happiest moments I had with Uncle was during our family gatherings. I could hear more of his voice when he started to hold the microphone to sing his favorite karaoke songs. I'd like to remember Uncle Bob as someone who was witty, kind-hearted, and sweet. Thank you for all the memories. I will miss him together with Uncle Ing and Lolo. Good night for now, Uncle Bob. We love you.
I do have a handful of memories of Uncle Bob. All of them, pretty fun and precious. One that comes to mind in particular is when we were in the Philippines for Lola and Lola's golden wedding anniversary. I believe it was 2001. I forget who it was, but somebody was telling me about Uncle Bob's famous tickle massages, and I was very curious, so I volunteered. And I remember it being more tickle than massage, but I just remember it being fun and just laughing a lot together. And he, that's just kind of how I always remembered Uncle Bob. Soft-spoken, but always in for a fun time with family and loved ones, and just always being there and wanting to make sure everybody had an enjoyable time. And we'll miss him very much, but I'm thankful for the fun memories that we have with him.
And I think the last memory that we had, interacting in person with Uncle Bob was when we and our handbell choir went over to the Philippines in 2011. I know that was 10 years ago now. But yeah, I also will remember Uncle Bob as being the kind and soft-spoken uncle who was there to be present with us and always kind of share a kind word and face.
Mm-hmm. We love you so much, Uncle. We'll miss you very much. We're thankful that you're resting now.
We love you, Uncle, and we will see you again.
How do I describe Uncle Bob? I can describe Uncle Bob as a quiet type, yet a man of intelligence. I remember years ago when we had things needed for our school assignment, and my dad Ing will always tell us to go ask Uncle Bob. Uncle Bob was a loving son, husband, dad, brother, uncle, a friend to all of us. What was my memorable experience with him? I remember those happy times when we gathered as a family in the gazebo back home years ago, just chatting with him about general topics, having picnics, and singing karaoke. He liked to dress up nicely and neatly and liked branded clothes. His famous line in Filipino, "Dili man ganit ta musuot og barato, sa libre pa," and that was really funny. He liked hanging out with his siblings back home with Dad Eng and Uncle Jong whenever he gets a chance, especially when all members of our family were together with him. Those were one of the fun times I remember and will surely miss about him. How do I want him to be remembered? I would like to remember him as a loving uncle or lolo. My nieces and nephews in Valencia were close to him. It really broke my heart more when I saw my little nieces and nephews cried a lot when they found out about what happened to him. They loved singing with him. He was always hanging out at our house or wherever the family went and just chatted and be with the rest of the family. I remember he came to help me when I had a problem with our van before. That was years ago. I was stuck in the middle of the road because I got locked out, but he came and tried to help. We surely miss Uncle Bob. He may be gone from our sight, but never in our hearts. We love and miss you, Uncle Bob. We will see you in the resurrection morning with Dad and Lolo.
How do you describe Uncle? I will describe Uncle as a very silent type of person. Since I was small, yun na yung pagkakilala ko kay Uncle. And the happiest moment with Uncle, every time we had a family gathering sa house, and mag-bless na kami kina Uncle, then he will answer, "God bless you, Le," or "Bless you." And when Uncle starts to sing the videoke, it was a moment, the happiest moment ko yun kay Uncle. Because I know na he is happy singing. Yun yung favorite ni Uncle. And yun yung mamiss namin sa kanya and Daddy. I want Uncle to be remembered as a silent man, but he is also a very generous man, si Uncle. Though, quiet lang siya sa tabi. No? Uncle, nasaan ka man ngayon? With Dad and Lolo, we miss you so much. And we will all be seeing you soon again. Ikaw na. Sige na. Sige na. Sige na. Talk na. Lolo ba?
Yes, Mom.
Sige na.
Love you, Lolo Bob. Miss you. Miss ko na mag-sing. Ikaw, Bella Bella, and Chloe Chloe. Love you. And Daddy Lo and Lolo great. Love you.
Uncle Bob is a calm and silent type person. I noticed whenever we had a family gathering, Uncle is more of a listener rather than the talker of the group. However, if it's his time to talk, Uncle had a lot of interesting and funny stories to share from his life experiences. I am glad that I had a chance to see Uncle Bob during my recent visit in Valencia 4 months ago. I remembered when we were in Wallace Place in Bangkod, Uncle would play his favorite singer Ray Valera's songs on the loop. Even though when Kuya Joseph's speaker stopped working, Uncle would still continue playing these songs from his mobile phone. Uncle Bob, I hope you know that we love you and will miss you dearly. Rest well for now, Uncle Bob. Good night. Kay tagal din nating di nakita, ako'y nasasabik na sa'yo. Kamusta ka na? Nalulungkot ka rin ba? Sana'y kapiling kita. Kumusta ka, mahal ko? Ayos ba? Sana'y di pa rin magbabago. Aha, 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 la, la, la.
My heart is in great sorrow after losing two of my beloved big brothers in a short span of time. I never imagined for this moment to come where I can no longer create memories with them, but to only write those precious moments that I had with my brothers. It took me weeks to put my thoughts in words because of how painful it is to lose another loved one. My big brother Bob, he was quiet, yet he was strong, caring, and generous. He never forgot to share his blessings with his family and relatives. Bob always fought for us since we were young. When I was in college, he was always concerned of me and made sure I was all right, even if he only said a few words. I know that deep down he loved us so dearly. Bob used to work in abroad for many years, so we barely spent time together in our adulthood. However, one of the happiest and most memorable experiences I had with him happened recently. It's during those times when we were gathered together every Saturday in a place we now call Casa, Blaza. We were grateful for Eng's children for organizing delicious foods and fun activities, which made our family bonding stronger. I love relaxing whilst the karaoke was on, and Bob would never miss to sing his favorite songs of Ray Valera, one of which, Malayo Pa ang Umaga. Almost a month ago, our very first granddaughter was born, baby Kayla, and Bob was so pleased for me and baby. I saw how excited he was after hearing the news. We exchanged hugs that felt so comforting, and he tapped my back with no words said. But when I recalled that moment, I felt that Bob may have meant to say, "Congratulations, pag-ayo-ayo lang, kung daw pirmi jong." Big Bro Bob did not say much of his feelings. But I know that during those family gatherings we had, those were the times when I felt he was the happiest. I want to remember my big bro Bob as someone who was caring, supportive, elegant in many ways, and above all, him being God-fearing. Bob, we may not see your smiles anymore, but your love and beautiful memories will remain in our hearts. When someone you love becomes a memory, their memories becomes a treasure. Good night for now. Sleep well, big bro Bob. I love you and miss you so dearly. See you in that great by and by.
Hello, loved ones. I would like to give some tribute to our beloved dad. I describe my dad as handsome, talented person who plays the guitar, play the piano, a good tennis player, chess player, and of course, martial arts black belter. And he was also a supportive and loving dad. My happiest moment with him, I remember when he and my mom visited me to attend my wedding ceremony with my wife. And despite of his health condition, but he attended our wedding ceremony, and of course eventually my pastoral ordination to be ordained as a pastor after my ministerial internship and employment. And I'm so grateful for his support, and of course I can really feel his support as a dad. And he also told me that he was so proud of me as his son. And one of my memorable experiences with him as well is that when he visited us, he and my mom visited us during our elementary days, visited in our school, and they brought some delicious food despite of their hectic schedules. They visited us. And during my high school days, I don't know if my sister still remember this, when my sister was crying and my dad told me to come closer to him, and he told me that even though he is a silent person, but he loves us so much, and it's very touching for me then. So he encouraged us to be good in school, to study well, so that we could have a stable job later on. And that was his legacy, and until now I'm teaching it to my kid JM. The characteristics that I'm thankful for from my dad was his resiliency despite of his health condition. He was a brave, strong man, but despite of his health condition, he was trying his best to restore his good health. And until now, his text messages is here in my cell phone. I did not erase it, delete it, because it still reminds me, it keeps ringing in my mind that he was so proud of me, and He loves us as his children. And I remember him every time I read this text from the Bible that says in Isaiah 57 verse 1 and 2 that says, "The righteous perisheth, and no man layeth it to heart, and merciful men are taken away. None considering that the righteous is taken away from the evil to come. He shall enter into peace. They shall rest in their beds, each one walking in his uprightness." So I really admired him. I admired my dad because in his last breath, he commit his life unto Jesus. And we are looking forward to seeing him again with beloved Lolo and of course beloved Uncle Ing. Thank you so much everyone for your love and support. I'm always praying for God's healing and comfort to every one of us. Thank you, and I love you all.
I would like to extend my gratitude to all our loved ones who made this meeting possible. Uncle John, Pia, Jackie, Bro Martin, Bro Joward, Vic, and the rest of our family who had helped us prestigious meeting we had. If I failed to mention your names, you know who you are, and I know who you are, despite of this hectic schedule. I know Dad, when I was still like around elementary, everybody knows that he's a silent type, introvert, but at the back of his mind, a lot of things going on. All you have to do is just to jumpstart the conversation or initiate a conversation. He have a lot of things to share to you. Para sa kaalaman ng lahat, you don't know Dad. He was so health conscious. He's the one who told me about this health. Health is wealth. You need to take care of yourself. Take time to yourself as much as possible. Be active. Do outdoor activities. Dad likes to play tennis too. When I was a little kid, I saw a bunch of tennis rackets, tennis balls. He got a bunch of tennis shoe collection. That's one of the reasons I like shoes as well, sneakers as well. He likes signature dress, clothes, because he's working as an executive secretary in an Australian company in Saudi Arabia for like 15 years or so. So he spent all his like almost 1/4 of his life working abroad just to help us. I remember kay Dad, live a life. You only live once. He's so generous to his family, to his friends, to his brethren. I remember one time he gathered all his friends just to do video okay, just to have fun for the night. Those songs from the 50s, 60s, Matt Monroe, Tom Jones, Air Supply, Chicago, Beatles, Bee Gees, you name it. You got all the collections, the magazine, the jingles. He had that. And the happiest moment we had together is just when I got married. I was so happy that time. He could told something that ayaw in taon kalimut sa amo tong kumaminyo na ka. brought them to Boracay as well. That's the happiest moment we got. Marnitra, Martin, Joward, Pastor Joward, that time at Boracay. But we miss Johanna at the time because she was busy. So that was the moment we spent a lot of time in Boracay. We spent like five days or 1 week that time. So that's the thing. I didn't forget about that. I learned about that you only live once, so enjoy life. You don't know when will be your end. That's why I don't forget that from now and forever, because he gave me this watch as a token of remembrance. I like this watch so much. I will never forget you, Dad. I always remember you, Dad. Don't worry, you're in our hearts and our minds. So this is only a temporary sleep. We all know that in God's soon return, we'll all meet Him, clouds of glory. Thank you very much, my family, my love. See you soon. We love you from California.